You got an NRSV third grade Bible?
Yeah.
I definitely got an NIV, probably. Most of them are.
You know, people always act like certain versions are like, I don't know. I guess I get some pickiness on some of them, but most of the time I don't have an issue with them. And to me, NIV just seems to be a little bit more universal. Like, it's more commonly used. Where NRSV is, what, just more Methodist?
I don't know. It's more academically accurate, like the translation. Because NIV was translated from the King James Bible, but the NRSV was translated from the original languages.
Oh. But they say that, but then, I don't know. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the Next Day podcast.
The next day on your discipleship journey, and Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah. Happy New Year, and the last day to say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. The end of Christmastide.
Because today is the 12th day of Christmas.
12
Drummers drumming. 11
pipers
piping.
10 lords a leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. There you go.
And nobody's listening. It's
like, I'm not doing this.
I do hope this is recording. I guess we'll see. We didn't do a check.
Oh, jeez.
I'm sure it is.
I'm sure it is.
I'm sure it's just fine.
Everything's fine.
All right, but how is your new year going so far?
It's good. It's great. How's yours?
It's only 5 days in.
I feel good about it. I feel like it was a gentle end and a gentle start to the new year. And I've seen a lot of things lately that really resonate, where I've always been very into like resolutions and like
you said that this
running.
Is your favorite holiday.
Yes.
What was it? You and I think Holly both said, "Oh, it's New Year's."
Yeah, New Year's always just feels like a good fresh start, and the turning of the page, the turning of the calendar, like it always hits well. But one of the things that I've been seeing a lot lately is how people are really adverse to New Year's resolutions and trying to take control of the year and all that stuff in the middle of winter, which we are in Houston, Texas. So
what is this winter? We had that a couple of days ago and it's over now.
Yeah. Oh, we've had it several times.
Temperatures went down to the 40s.
We've had it several times.
It was super cold.
It was very cold, frigid. But anyway, so I think for a lot of the world that experiences a winter, it's very hard to be like, all right, it's time. Because, that's sort of the energy you get with springtime. So I think I've started to try and be like, okay, I'm going to take it gently. But I do still find that the new year helps with establishing good habits and routines and stuff like that. It's just always been that for me, which is my word for the year.
What?
It's very boring.
Establish?
Routine.
Oh, routine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very, very boring. But I'm like, I need more routine in my life for discipline reasons.
So don't do anything spontaneous ever, because
No.
it needs to be routine.
No, I just need I need to have good routines and good habits that I consistently come back to.
Yeah.
What about you?
What?
Well, your New Year.
Oh, yeah, it's been good so far.
Do you have a word?
The weather's been nice.
Do you have a resolution?
No. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's going to take me to our icebreaker. So, our icebreaker is, first I kind of had two, just because we haven't met since the Monday before Christmas, right?
Yeah,
and
man,
we have been through a lot. All good stuff, but Christmas Eve was wonderful. And I really think back at it very fondly, but man, it was just a long day. It was a long day.
It was
beautiful.
Busy,
but very beautiful. I loved it. And yeah. But what were some things? So first icebreaker question: what were some things you got for Christmas? Nothing.
I got a quarter in my stocking.
A quarter?
Yes.
Oh, Justin went all out. That's like twice the amount that he spent on you last year.
Yes.
No.
Good. Yeah, I really did not get anything for Christmas.
Okay.
Which I know sounds really sad, but don't be sad for me. I specifically told Justin not to get me anything.
Oh, that's a trap, Justin. It's a trap.
To be fair, the kids both got me something from Treasures in the Attic.
Yeah, what'd they get you?
They did great. Emmy got me a very, very fancy necklace and earrings set.
Ooh.
Which I'm not wearing because like I said, it's fancy. Like it's real fancy.
Uh-huh.
So I'll have to find a place.
It turns your neck and ears green.
Yeah. It is green.
It's green.
Got green gems on
okay.
it. Anyway, it has gems. Like it's very fancy. So I'm gonna have to find a place to wear that. Jesse got me some earrings, which I have not worn yet.
Mm-hmm.
But so they did get me some Treasures in the Attic stuff, which was lovely.
Aww.
But I told Justin not to get me anything because I kind of spontaneously purchased a robot vacuum and mop for our house.
Ooh, like a Roomba type of thing?
Yes, it's a Eufy.
A Eufy? Hey, that's our sponsor. Eufy. When you need something to clean up and mop something without you knowing, go to Eufy. If you want a robot pet that cleans up.
Oh, the best. Anyway, so I bought myself that and I was like, listen, I spent a lot of money on this. Please don't buy me anything. So, but some of my other friends are like, that's not fair because it's not your sole job to like.
Eufy's your pet. It's your responsibility now.
I know. It's not your sole job to like vacuum and mop the house. Like it's a shared thing. So in that respect, I probably should have just been like, I'm doing this for our family.
Didn't get you any candy? Oh, you got a quarter, right?
I did get a quarter. Yeah. What did you get?
Well, you're looking at it. I got some flannel.
You did.
And this is...
It's a great flannel.
I know. This really is.
I really like it.
It really is. And this is a good... this is what I call a medium flannel. So it means it's good for this kind of weather.
Mm-hmm.
It's good, I'm not going to get too hot in it. It's not going to keep me super warm.
Yeah.
It's just a good in between. I probably won't wear it in the summer though. It'd be a little too heavy for that, but
and you have it
really
buttoned
nice.
all the way up.
I do.
You don't have the graphic
It's
tee
like
underneath.
A tan and black one, and
it looks great.
Yeah, I also got like just a typical red and black one because I lost
get this for you?
Yeah, because I lost one of them. I had my red and black one, and not the heavy red and black one. That one's the more fleece. That one's good for cold. The lighter one. We've had these conversations before. Anyways,
yes, recently. Even.
I got this, and then we got some gift cards and all that. So we used our IHOP gift cards already, and it's always a fun time. That takes us to our other sponsor, IHOP. When you need lots of pancakes, go to IHOP. And so what about New Year's resolution? New Year's routine? Is that just what you're going with, or is there anything specific?
It's like specifically like nighttime routine and morning routine. So like including exercise and stuff to just try to have a good balance.
Do squats while you're brushing your teeth. And you're like, all right, this is a good routine.
Yes.
You can knock two things out at once.
I mean, maybe. That's great. No, just trying to establish some good habits that I feel like in the chaos of the end of the year and like Christmas and Thanksgiving, it's just a blur, and then all of the routine gets thrown off because the kids are out of school and you have all these like parties and all these things, and so it's just kind of and then like obviously church commitments and all of that, so a lot going on. So I'm ready to just kind of get into a good routine. I function really well in routine, so
nice. Well, let's see. For me, I have a couple of them that I want to do. And some of them, it's not like a consistent thing. It's just I may have a goal for this year. I want to try to do this at some point. One of them is this. I want to find something art to do. Something art. And I don't know what that... It could be I just learned how to draw and doodle and do that a little bit more. Or it could be going to a pottery class, or it could be, I just want to do something that I can like create. Not so much in terms of like music or anything like that. Like I just want to do something where I can create something, draw
arts.
it, sculpt it, whatever it may be. So I might just try to experiment with some stuff throughout the year
cool.
and see if there's something I could do. Because I just think it would be fun to have something to be able to do that.
You should try charcoal.
Like drawing charcoal?
Drawing with charcoal.
Yeah.
Because it's just very smudgy and, it's just a lot of shading.
Whatever I do, it's not going to be realism. As I say that, it's not going to be that.
Yeah, you do a lot of doodling.
I try. I'm really,
That's like most of your sermon notes are like you doodle stuff.
Yeah, I'll try to draw an image. Most of the time it's stick figures doing something, but well.
That's good.
That, and I do want to, and this is going to bring up, I'm going to bring up a pet peeve here and just say something for everyone to know something. I think there's a misconception out there about something. I've gone on stints of this, and I've confused people in the church on this before. But one of my resolutions is I do want to go and eat less meat. I'm not, some people, are you a vegetarian? I'm like, no, not necessarily, because I will, if I'm at someone's house and what they prepared was steaks, I'm going to eat that. Like, but it's just, if I go out to a restaurant, if I go to a place, I'm probably going to look for the vegetarian option. I'm going to look for that or pescatarian. So like fish tacos and all that's a really go-to. But the thing that drives me crazy, and I saw this when we were at IHOP, is people have this idea that, vegetarian option equals healthy. There's plenty of vegetarians out there who would just love a good grilled cheese. And we're not looking for a healthy cheese and healthy bread. It's like, no, give me, it could be as fatty as it can be, but it just doesn't have meat. And yet so many places you go to, you want the vegetarian option. So it's like, you want the veggie burger? That doesn't come with fries. It comes with a bowl of fruit. I want the fries. Like, don't, it irks me. Like, y'all, not everyone's looking to get healthy here. I just don't want to eat the meat. Like,
that's funny.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, well, most of the fat, comes from animal fat of some sort. But like oil, I mean, it's seed oil, I'm sure that they're using for the French fries. So that would be vegetarian.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's vegan even.
And not vegan, yeah. I'm definitely, I can't even begin to start trying to be vegan. That's a lot. But to me, like, if I just go somewhere and I just do the meatless option, I really enjoy it. And sometimes I like the challenge of it, and I enjoy it. And yes, I get plenty of protein. So don't, everyone like, you don't have protein. There's protein in everything. So you're good. Anyways, I just wanted to go out because it just
on a little rant,
because there was a veggie omelet and it said on their menu, specifically on their menu, it has to come with a bowl of fruit. You don't have options for pancakes. You don't have options for, and I was like,
that's rude.
Sorry about my sponsors, IHOP.
They're like, we are pulling our sponsorship.
I mean, everything else you can substitute except for that one. And I was like, why? Because it's vegetarian. No, y'all, that's so weird. Anyways, let me get off this.
My thing with New Year's resolutions this year, not a pet peeve. It's just like my joke right now, since we're still in the first week of January, is like, if I don't want to do something, if I'm just like being rebellious or angsty, I'm just like, it's my New Year's resolution. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not gonna do the dishes anymore.
So anytime you don't see Christy at church, she's like, you know what? I'm not going.
This is my New Year's resolution.
I'm not gonna be there. Nope.
Just kidding. But I also have like a very intense routine of, the dishes do get done in my house.
Yeah. But whatever y'all are doing, here's a tip I always heard is like, if you mess up, just keep going. And I'll say that even for Lent. A lot of times, I'm going to read scripture every day for Lent. And then it's like, I missed a day. Well, I guess I'm done. No, like just keep going. Pick up the next day or just keep going. Like you don't have to just stop. So maybe your New Year's resolution should be to listen to the This Day podcast and the Next Day podcast every day.
Every day, every week.
Which I will say today is the last of the days of Christmas on the This Day podcast. Our numbers have gone up for Advent and the season of Christmas, and I've really enjoyed seeing that happen. And I hope everyone who's listened to the This Day podcast have enjoyed the new devotionals. And I really hope it helps kind of show this journey going to the birth of Christ, and then after the birth, and now, we have this episode today, and then tomorrow there's a special Epiphany episode. Then we'll get back to some of our regular stuff, and I'm working on a whole Lenten one, a whole special one for that. So, but yeah, so that's been really cool. Well, on this next day podcast, the next day podcast, we talk about the sermons you got to hear on Sunday. So maybe you got to hear Carl at West Campus. Maybe you got to hear Preston at Traditional. And that's it. And so...
That's right.
No, because Christy, at the Element, we didn't really do a sermon. Not necessarily.
Well, we just had...
it was just
our
time.
Morning of prayer and praise.
Yeah.
Time of reflection. We did talk a bit about the Magi, just briefly, because I do really love the story I love it for multiple different reasons. And I do hope, I think that maybe next year that we'll get to include a little bit more of the Magi in our Christmastide or Advent, perhaps. But
well, you got to do it during the season of Christmas as it's leading up
right,
to Epiphany. No,
right.
It doesn't hurt to. Yeah, people do it all the time earlier. Yeah.
It's But anyway, I really love the the story of the Magi, but I think that it really just gives us a good kind of framework for how we go forward in our year, and also in our reflection of our past year. So I do always love that it liturgically falls right here in the year, because as we're planning ahead, and as we're just wondering what God might have for us this year, what the Spirit will be leading us to, and we kind of like lean in with that curiosity that I think the Magi teach us about going in with open hands, and also, letting the past be the past, and, it informing our future steps, but, not necessarily having control over it. And, just going in with like an attunement to the Spirit. So,
as a great person once said, you got to put your past in your behind.
Is that Shrek?
No, I think it's Lion King.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what was that?
Because Uncle Rafiki said you got to put your past behind you, but then Timon or Pumbaa, one of them said you got to put your past in your behind.
Yeah.
Or maybe Simba said that. And so it was like, what? But yeah, just move forward. Just keep swimming.
That's right. Just keep swimming.
Yeah, there's another movie. Yeah.
Yeah, all the Disney movies.
Yeah.
The Gospel According to Disney.
Yeah. No, it was a very wonderful service, and those times of reflection and just kind of meditating on, because every month, day one for the This Day podcast at the beginning of the month is always the devotional is always about looking ahead for the month, and just kind of mentally preparing for this new month that's ahead. And so what we did on Sunday in the Element was pretty much that, but for the year, like looking ahead, what are you hoping to do? And you had some really good questions to reflect on, and things like that. And I'm with you. I really felt like, and I think I said this during my sermon on the 28th, on December 28th, that it seems like Advent, all these stuff leading up to Christmas, it really is busy, and especially us as a staff. But I'm just imagining families and all that. Like, you're having to make all these plans. You're doing shopping. You're doing all this other stuff. So it's crazy. And the whole reason why I've been wanting to really stress like this whole season of Christmas thing, because I really feel like, well, now it's Christmas Day. You got to enjoy all this. Mm-hmm. But now you're in the season of Christmas. Maybe this could be a time for you to actually slow down.
Right.
Now, I know some people, well, yeah, but the day after Christmas, I have this family. Okay, well, eventually, hopefully you find some time to slow down and be like, man, this is what Christmas was this. And so then you kind of really reflect on Christ is born and all this. And so it's a time to slow down, because I get Advent can be very chaotic and busy. And now here we are about to go into Epiphany. Yeah.
Which I feel like the, even the story of Jesus' birth and the first Christmas, if we're going to call it that, that it is a slow story. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure to some degree, like
when
Mary
you read it, it doesn't look as, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like Mary.
Sometimes the events are like, you read something, it's like, oh, that was only 3 verses?
Right.
And yet somehow you can make a whole movie out of it or something,
it's like,
right?
it's a lifetime,
Yeah.
right? But Mary and Joseph, I'm sure they felt a little chaotic as first-time parents do, or any time you have a newborn. But it is slow. Like, I even remember, like, the newborn days. Like, you've got these, like, sleepless nights. You're trying to, like, deal with the, baby. Why is the baby crying? The, female, the mom is, like, figuring out, like, nursing and all of that. I mean, there's a lot, right? But it is slow. Like, time just kind of becomes irrelevant, at a certain
no more
point.
sleep time.
Well, it's
There's
like
no more.
in the
It's
hospital.
like-
I remember it would just be like, you wake up, you got to feed the baby goes back to sleep, you swaddle, you change diapers every like 20 minutes, it feels like. But it's like, what day is it? So when I think about that it's not like Jesus is born and it's like, okay, go, 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 go. It's like, no, he's a baby. Like that. The Christmas story was never about like getting to a finish line.
Yeah.
It was about like time and dwelling, right? And like just being here, God with us in the midst of all of that. And so I think that, we rush ahead in our calendar to the next thing. But I think, my hope for this, starting the year like we do in the Element on this, traditional, our annual like morning of prayer and praise is to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, before you rush ahead and you get to all of these things and you're, maybe you've already made a bunch of plans in the new year and all of that, how is God speaking to you now? Like, how is God leading you? Slow down to just be aware of that, and if you're making plans, plan on how you can be disciplined to see the Spirit moving and to be attuned to that. And anyway, I think that all gives, it provides a really good framework for us.
Yeah. And I really like, one thing I didn't even think about till you were talking about it, about the Magi, was the whole notion of, I don't know, whenever they decided not to go back, like they were told in the dream not to go back, and to Herod, because at the beginning, when you're reading the story, it seems as if Herod is, hey, I'm just curious about this too, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
How about y'all go find out where this baby, it does say he was scared. And so I guess there's that, but you don't really know what his motivations would have been. If you're reading this for the very first time, you may not know. Right,
because it doesn't really talk about Herod, until that point. It's just like the assumption that that Herod was a bad guy.
Yeah. And so he tells these wise men, these Magi, which again, we don't know the exact number of them. It's harmless enough to say there's 3, but there could have been a whole bunch of them. But it's just, so they went out and they found them, and then they were told in a dream not to go back. So they went back to their own countries, right? And I just like that the thing that struck me was, so we have the Wesley's 3 principles.
Oh, yeah.
What were they 3?
Rules of life.
Yeah, rules. Yeah. Where it's just do good, do no harm, and keep the ordinances of God. But it's just that idea of like, they had this option of, you know what? Let's not do harm to this family. We feel like going back and telling Herod where this family is and where Jesus is, that's going to cause harm. Let's not do that. And they have made this choice. And so maybe I don't know why, that just never stuck out to me with that story before. It was something about when you were saying it and all that. I was just like, oh yeah.
The Spirit speaking.
Yeah. and so, yeah. So maybe that could be, maybe that's somebody's New Year's resolution. Maybe that's the way we can move forward, is thinking of, what can I do that doesn't cause harm? Because there's little things that we do that we just may not notice. Yes, the way we interact with people, but maybe we're more cautious of like, where do we buy our stuff from? Where is if I buy this clothing from this place that's known for fast fashion, is that good for people on the other side of the world who's making it? Or is it, and I know you could go down a loophole or a rabbit hole, and you're just like, apparently I can't do anything, right?
Right.
But maybe there's something you could think of. What can you do to not cause harm? And I don't know. That just stuck out to me for some reason.
Yeah. I think that, and I think that's their choice to go a different way.
Yeah.
It's like, what different way can we go?
Mm-hmm.
That, like you said, little changes. It's going about our life in a different way, which I think we're called to, right? Like, we're a peculiar people. We are called to go about life in a way that is not necessarily like against the grain all the time. I'm not saying that you just like rebel against everything in life, but like it's not the norm, I think, to be conscious of, fast fashion or whatever. I mean, in the world of Amazon, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
it's one of those, I've heard this before. It always sticks out to me and just to kind of share how complicated this is. I remember hearing like this old PSA. It was on like our college radio station. It would come on quite a bit, so I'd hear it quite a bit. And so, but it was like this person saw all this pollution coming from this one manufacturing place. And so they decided to do something about it. And so then they decided to put it into law, and they protested, and then all of a sudden a law was passed that this place had to change how they did so because all the pollution in this water was bad. All right, that's good. Well, because of all that, they had to shut down the factory. Now there's all this people who don't have jobs anymore.
Right.
And so now, so the whole point of the PSA was really just about like helping and doing good may seem like an impossible task.
It does feel like
and
that.
I forgot what the whole thing was actually pointing to, other than
the PSA was.
But I was sitting there listening to it, going, "Oh yeah, you clean up the water." But then I was like, "Oh no, with all those poor family." But somehow, somehow, yes, you got to fix pollution, and yes, people need jobs. But somehow there's got to be a way to do both.
Well, it's part of like this very broken system, right? It's a lot. You fix one thing, another thing it breaks, but that's where I just, I see our reliance on God and like trusting in God to come in and do this redemptive kind of work through us, and with us. But again, like being attuned to the Holy Spirit and knowing that like, if we, we're fixing one thing or redeeming one thing, and then it feels like another thing breaks because of that, like, the broken pieces may be falling into a better place rather than, we've just disrupted something that was good. Maybe we've disrupted something that was not good and healthy, and you need that to, create better growth in the future. You need that brokenness. So, I think there's a lot of hope even in when we try to do one good thing and then it leads to something that feels like we just messed everything up. We rocked the boat. Sometimes you need to rock the boat.
Yeah.
We were talking about this the other day, just the difference between, in that same kind of vein, the difference between a peacekeeper and a peacemaker. And a peacekeeper is just trying to keep the peace, keep it quiet, keep it polite, keep it good, but a peacemaker, sometimes in order to be a peacemaker, you have to stir things up a little bit,
Yeah, that's kind of like if you're feuding, you see two people, your two friends or family members fighting. The peacekeeper in you just wants to just
fighting.
Be like, you may change the subject. You may just kind of make a joke. And this is me 100%.
Right.
is like just make a joke, try to change the subject, and then just kind of hopefully, okay, good. They're going in their different. Okay, that's good. A peacemaker would be like, hey, let's talk about what you are talking about. What's your deal? Like, and like really confront it.
Right.
Like,
let's get to the root of it. And not to cause drama or anything, but just to purge it, It's like if it just sits there, it festers, So, Justin and I happened to be talking about that the other day. The difference between a peacekeeper and a peacemaker.
That's good. It's kind of like the same thing with being the difference between being nice and kind. I've heard something similar to that where the nice may go more towards the peacekeeper side, but the kind could be like, you're trying to fix the problem, but
Right.
you're kind and you're not just being
like
mean about it. Like you're
one of my systematic theology professor would always say, God is not nice.
yeah.
He's like,
What are you talking about?
an attribute of God is not nice. God
I mean,
is not
Jesus. Look at Jesus, right? Like Jesus being nice,
right.
would have been going into the temple and seeing all the people selling into money changers, just going, well, y'all are being, that's a good
As long
business,
as it's
right?
polite.
Just if y'all can, these outsiders who don't have much money can just try to be. No, he was like, no, what are y'all doing?
Get out of here. Yeah.
No.
The righteous anger, is
Yeah.
sometimes part of being a peacemaker.
And he confronted them and called them out. And I'm not a very confrontational person at all, but I do know I've been taught like a while back, like, don't be scared of conflict. And, but it is, you do worry about it. So
which, I mean, the Magi, I don't think that they were necessarily conflict avoidant. They were obedient. They didn't go back to Herod and go to war with him or something.
Yeah.
Right? Like God told them, don't go back. Like, and not in a conflict avoidance kind of way.
These non-Jewish or likely non-Jewish people from the East.
When
it says from the East, do you know where?
Mesopotamia.
Okay.
I mean somewhere in the ancient Near East, right? There's some scholarship, and I've actually recently heard this, that Daniel, in the book of Daniel, is where we first see, I believe, the word for Magi. Daniel, after he is, they attempt to kill him, and then they realize, like, oh, your God is actually great, and
my God is
above
greater.
all.
My God is
right. So then they appoint Daniel over the Magi to lead them, to teach them. And as we know, Daniel's a prophet, and so there's some scholarship that I've recently heard about Daniel perhaps having taught about this messianic prophecy to the Magi in Babylon when he's there in exile, and so we know he never leaves exile in Babylon. He becomes part of the new, like Jewish culture of Babylon, and he teaches these Magi perhaps about messianic prophecy. And so it's like you kind of have this curiosity because there's no like evidence really of this, but it's like you think, could these Magi be like great grandchildren, generations removed of those Magi that like
they
knew
about it,
that there was going to be, they would have known, this prophecy about, or heard of the prophecy about Bethlehem even, and a coming Messiah of some, some sort.
Yeah.
Hearing this coming Messiah. So, I just thought that was so interesting. And I'm like, man, they, because it kind of feels random at first, just like these Magi from the East come. It's like this random little interjection in the story.
And the other misconception I think we get is like, you see nativity scenes and they're there with the shepherd and they're there with all this. But then you do, like, once you kind of really look at the text, you kind of get these clues because they had seen the star, which that star could have been there for a while, right? Like, and so it wasn't like immediately, like, what we get from the shepherds is that they were told and they went to go see.
Right.
Like, that was more of an immediate thing. This could have been like, oh, shoot, did you see that? Because they studied the stars and they saw something special. And they were like, well, dang, what could that mean? And they had time to think about it. And they're like, well, what about that prophecy? And then they had to travel and they had to get there. And so it could have just been some time.
I would love to do, I'm sure there's something out there, some kind of star study.
I've heard of some speakers who know a lot about this, about this particular time and a star, and how like this is what they believe was that star, and they have something astronomy related to it,
astronomical or astrological, really, like calendar, because they'll talk about this was in some sense kind of pagan, like this was not a Jewish tradition kind of thing to like track the stars like this. Like it was very Eastern. And
Jewish, they only focus on the moon.
They do on the moon. I mean, they're all. It is very all like it is very connected. But there is a little bit of like this Eastern religion that is in there. That's obviously where the Magi are coming from, and so there is some like pagan, kind of practice in there. But it's like being used in a way that I think like ties the creator into it, and then the story of the Messiah into it, which I think is beautiful. Like, and I think what it shows too is like, in scripture all the time, going to the east is always like seen as moving away from God. Like any time that you see in the Old Testament, especially if you go to the east, it's always like moving away from God. This is sort of where like Manifest Destiny comes from. It was always like westward movement, which is, America being like, we're doing a divine thing because we're going west, right? But so anytime you move east, it was always seen as like a negative. But like good things we see in scripture come out of the east, right? Like the sun rises in the east. Like there's always a good, like something good that comes from the east, even though oftentimes scripture shows us moving eastward as like a negative. And I think that shows this beautiful movement of God.
Yeah.
Bringing goodness from what we oftentimes see as negative, right? Or what we oftentimes see as, moving in the wrong direction. God moves in a way that it is still towards righteousness, when we turn our attention to God. So I think like the Magi, just the fact that they come from the east is really, really beautiful in the context of the whole of scripture.
And these are the more educated, possibly wealthy because of their gifts and all that. And yet God is working through them just as God is working through the lowly shepherd, probably uneducated. And like, so it's just, all here in this story, it just keeps, you see the same theme over and over throughout all of scripture, but then you especially see it throughout the gospel, and it starts off very strong with all of this.
Yeah.
So really cool. So today, find some time, well, maybe tomorrow on Epiphany, find some time to listen to We Three Kings of Orient.
Very different keys.
Oh yeah, we come down. Keep doing that. Or my favorite version of it is I think you can find it on YouTube. I think if you just look up the California Raisins, We Three Kings, it's a very, I don't know. I remember watching it when I was little. It's like the claymation. It's not the California Raisins singing it, but it's like some camels and some others singing it and all that. I really like that version.
I've always really liked the melody of that song.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It just is really good. Some of like the. Well, I also
the song takes you through a whole bunch of different. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you get to that one verse, and depending on what version you listen to, like, dead in the cold hard tomb. Oh,
it's a Halloween song.
Yeah. But yeah, so find some time to do that and reflect on that. And people all around the world, like, they celebrate Epiphany in different ways, and sometimes it's sometimes people treat it a little bit bigger deal than Christmas Day. That's when they exchange gifts and all that, so it's just kind of a neat thing. We're almost done with Christmas. Oh no.
It's the last day,
so we got time to watch a Christmas movie of some sort.
We watched a few after Christmas Eve, or Christmas Day. We watched a few Christmas movies. Yeah. So there was still time.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to our ministry shout out. So we were talking about New Year resolutions, and maybe this is something, if you're listening and you're here in the Katy area and you're part of St. Peter's, maybe you want to participate in this. There's ways to get more involved, and the ways that we wanted to share our ministry is just these people who are here on a regular basis and help out. And so that goes with our volunteers for children's ministry. They meet for Sunday school. They're always in need of that, from pre-K to all the way elementary. They need help. And
all
just
the time.
yeah, and you could be put on trust me, like they could be fine with doing a regular rotational, like a monthly thing too for that. But also Wednesdays, they have events going on Wednesdays. Student ministry as well. We have Sunday school. We have midweek. We have our life groups on Sunday afternoons. And so there's so many ways that you could be a part of students' lives. And I guarantee you, being a part of students and children's, those Bible studies and those things, I'm just going to tell y'all, like, I may have some bias with this. I think it's way more fun. And so you never know what you're going to hear and do. And also you teaching and leading can help you grow and all that.
I completely agree. I feel like there's so many times when I've been a part of children's or student ministry, and some of the conversation or some of the questions that are asked, or sometimes it's just like really, what you would consider basic, theology.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be reminded of that sometimes, even as an adult, and then seeing, teaching it to a child or a student just is, I don't know, it does something spiritually to you,
Like, I'll never forget the time when we were doing a confirmation thing and we were reading the story of Jesus' baptism. And I've heard the story, read it in scripture many times. It wasn't until one student goes, wait a minute. So there's Jesus in the water, and then there's like a dove flying around, and then you hear the voice of God. Is that all the Trinity in one place? And I was like, dang, that's a good question. Like, what the heck? Like,
wow.
Yeah. Do we ever, you hear the Spirit and you hear that? And I was like,
really
wait,
good.
Dang, like what? I'm like, I've never thought of that before.
I don't
and it's
think
like,
I've really.
It's like, yeah, is this the only place in
We're
the Bible?
literally talking about that this Sunday, Chad.
Yeah.
Oh.
The baptism of the Lord. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay,
do a deep dive here.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's great.
He was like, is this the only place where you see all, because, the Trinity's complicated already.
Oh, yeah.
But this makes it look like, well, wait, there's not three different things, but here in the scripture, there seems like there's three different things. Like, what the heck?
That.
So, but that's like the things you get from students sometimes. And not everything's always intimidating. Sometimes you just talk about your favorite burger and your favorite other stuff, and you just get great conversations. But then the other way to get involved is just with our Connect team. Mainly, there's lots of ways to be on a Connect team, but thinking about Sunday mornings, think about the worship service you go to, and you have greeters. You have people doing ushers. You have people helping
serving communion.
Just so many things like that. We would love to have you be a part of that. And sometimes you see worship and you see this in a little bit of a different way, where you just get to greet someone with a smile and you understand like why this is important and helping out in service.
It reminds you that you are part of the community, like I feel like it helps us, realize that we are not just like church members, but like, we take ownership of it, right? Like, not that we own the church. don't hear that. But
it's my church.
Ownership over like, inviting people in and, being, deeply involved and invested in not just this community, locally, which that, it is part of that, but like that we are connected, as a larger community as the church universal. And I think that when we serve, that it's just a reminder of that. And I do think there is a spiritual element that is just part of that holy mystery, that like something happens in your heart that we can't quite explain.
And maybe you're someone who, because there are some, this isn't true for everyone. Some people can't multitask, and so they can't like work on something and listen. Sometimes it's difficult, but some people sitting still in worship is just not their thing. And so we have people on the Connect team, whether they're helping out in the AV booth, they're running slides, and they're doing other stuff, but they're there in worship. And I think that's a way for them to feel connected in this time of worship, is that they want to physically kind of get up and do stuff. So lots of ways to do that. If you want to get more involved, go talk to someone who's already greeting. Go talk to someone who's already doing that. And see, hey, how do I help do this? And they would love to talk to you about that, or they'll point you in the right direction. Good.
Very good.
All right. Well, happy 2026.
Woo, it's going to be a good year.
I know. I mean, midweek stuff is starting up. Our Sunday, everything Sunday, our new series is coming up. Flip the script.
We really are hitting the ground running.
Flip the script. Is that starting this Sunday?
Flip
the script on
That's
Baptism
right.
of the Lord Sunday.
It's going to be great. It's the way that God has flipped the script for us.
Ooh, nice. Well, but yeah, so be looking forward to that and having conversations with us as we're coming up on a whole new year. 2 years of doing the Next Day podcast coming up soon, and 3 years of the This Day podcast. Man, this has been going on. So, but yeah, so thank you all for listening, and we will all see you next week on the Next Day podcast.
See you next time.